What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 10 of BrickTalk. This is our Lego investing podcast. I'm DG Bricks.
And I'm KDX Bricks Analytics.
All right, people. So the first set I want to talk about today, set number 40680, Flower Store. This is a gift with purchase through lego.com starting March 1st. It is March 2nd as we record this, and this gift with purchase is already sold out. This is the first entry in a new series of gift with purchase Lego is doing, following up on the Houses of the World series. With a $250 minimum spend, these gift with purchases were not that popular, and surprisingly, the values have not held up that well on the aftermarket. The Flower Store is the first in this new series of 4, and early indications are that it's insanely popular. Now, whether people are driving their purchases specifically to get this set, or whether people are just really excited about the March 1st releases we talked about in the last episode of the podcast, we don't know. But in any case, this gift with purchase has sold out insanely fast, and so it's caught my attention. Looks to be selling here around $49, around $50, or $40. After fees, maybe you're going to be netting closer to $40 on this. My question to you, Kevin, is will this follow in the footsteps of the Disney 100 gift with purchase? The first time it came around, that gift with purchase went for $60, $70, $80 on a $100 spend. But when that gift with purchase came back, the value plummeted to around $30 or $40 and has yet to come back. So Kevin, what do you think?
DG, I can be really pithy on this. You asked if this is going to perform the same as that Disney 100 GWP. Answer is nope. You asked what I think, and is this set going to be any good? The answer is nope. This is terrible. It's open in the back. It is going to follow the same path as the Houses of the World. But DG, what is the one possible thing with this set that is a saving grace?
It's a nice little florist there that is bursting with plants.
It's flowers and plants. But still, it's just a lot of smaller pieces. You know, it really is thrown together. Like, my kids could make something pretty darn close to that. So, nope, I'm unimpressed. Absolutely pass.
I did find it interesting that the brick set review of this set listed the only con as that the lamppost is far too short. And while the box does have this limited edition print across the bottom, similar to the flower pot last year, springs to mind, I'm not sure what that actually means, because that flower pot did come back for a second run, and I think actually maybe even a third run before selling out. I think I'm with you. It's a mid set.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't even notice the lamppost, honestly. I literally didn't even notice that was there until they point that out. And yeah, that does look like to be an inch or two short. You know, story of my life too, but.
All right, moving on. Your turn, man.
I get to share screen.
You're obligated to.
Do you see it?
Unfortunately, yes.
10326, the Natural History Museum, the latest and greatest of the Modular Buildings collection. $300, but it is a 3-panel. It is 50% wider than your average modular building. What's the other one that's this size?
Assembly Square.
One of our also favorite, but that had the 7-year shelf life. So I think it looks great, and it is $300, very expensive, but over 4,000 pieces. Also, what's the price point of some of the, just standard size modular buildings recently?
$200. Or actually, no, the boutique hotel is more now. Is it $230?
Exactly. Police Station was the last one at the $200 price point. So when we look at the two latest, and then we come up to the Natural History Museum, this one is $100 per what I call the half panel, and these are each $115 per half panel. So this one's actually a steal.
I see what you're saying.
So big question here in this segment is good set, bad set. I'm actually going to go gray set on this one. Now, I know it's way too early. It's going to have a long shelf life, but I do not believe it's going to have the 7-year shelf life that that the Assembly Square had. And historically, modular buildings still do okay. Boutique Hotel is okay. Jazz Club is colorful, but not my favorite. I think it's this one that's going to pull us out of the little modular building dip. And the fact that it's 3 panels wide gives you a lot more space to build the staircases, put minifigures. I actually like that it's not filled with too much detail. I like space to put the minifigures in and to actually able to see everything, which is hard with modular buildings.
I've been studying the modulars both qualitatively for their looks, their colors, their details, and quantitatively looking at the Amazon supply and demand and everything like that. One thing I noticed about the modulars that perform better than the rest of the pack is it seems like it's all about the facade of the building. It's all about the columns out front. It's about the roof. I'm definitely not an architecture expert, but I'm liking the white details on the facade of this building. The corners in dark bluish gray up top with the little micro figure dolls. That's an interesting touch. That corner sloping in almost gives me like a Parisian look. Over on the left, we have a window washer here on some scaffolding. Because this set is so new, I haven't looked that closely at it for investment. It's not scheduled to retire this year. In fact, no modulars are scheduled to retire this year.
That's right.
Having 3 retire last year to none this year. And then I think 2 are scheduled for next year. We'll have to wait and see whether that holds up or whether that changes. Unfortunately, despite everything I just said, I really dislike the main color of this set. The baby barf olive green just looks awful. And contrasted to the sand green of the boutique hotel, I think that color looks so classy. A little bit of a teaser. We're going to talk about another sand green set in a minute. I think it's unfortunate because this set has a lot of things going for it. That color just turns me off so much. Keep in mind, we're just breaking down these sets based on mostly qualitative facts, some data, some price per piece and things like that. But what we're not looking at here is supply and demand, sales rank, everything like that.
I knew you were going to bring up the olive green color of the building. What do you call that again? The puke?
Yeah, it's just horrific. It's this hybrid between green and yellow, and it just doesn't look like anything. To me, it looks completely off-putting, which is such a shame because otherwise the facade of this building looks amazing.
This set right here, which is kind of funny for me because this is the Fairgrounds Collection Hotel drop ride, kind of like Tower of Terror. And I was critical of this one because of the same color. I really didn't like it. And so I didn't like it here. I love it on this one. A museum should exude classiness, intelligence, academia. And I think that color is perfect to represent that. The ornate detailing up top, these nice banners that you see on every good natural history museum. And then the tree that Lego has added to most of the modular buildings recently. Color decisions on buildings or larger sets like this is a lot like art. It's really in the eye of the viewer, right? And for me, it just works.
If we zoom in on the right side banner of that dinosaur, it looks like a little Easter egg. That's actually a Jurassic World dinosaur from the set. I can't recall it. We'll throw it up on screen. $80 tree and large dinosaur build. I love what they do with these modulars, tying together all the different parts of Lego lore and modular history, and I just adore that. So whatever the case is going to be, we're going to have to wait a couple years for this score to be settled, Kevin, because this is not going to retire at least until 2025. And if it follows in the pattern of the other 1.5 base plate wide modulars, we're going to be waiting for, oh man, 2030.
It's not going to be that long.
One thing's for certain, I won't be buying this for personal build.
No, not for personal build, but the dinosaur and its head sticks out the second floor and...
You just turned into a child there with big eyes, but the dinosaur.
Still do like to build Lego myself a lot.
Well, I wouldn't feel too bad about it because based on the YouTube demographics, there are a lot of 20, 30, 40, and 50-year-olds who like to build Lego, or at least watch my videos about Lego investing. We are going to have to agree to disagree on the Natural History Museum modular building. Let's move on to our next set. Set number 30680, AAT. This is a Star Wars polybag released January 1st of this year. And interestingly, I searched this set up on lego.com. I could not find it. I searched this set on walmart.com. I could not find it. Let's just pop this into a Google search here, and what comes up? Barnes & Noble and Target. Look at this, out of stock at Target. Let's have another look here at Barnes & Noble. Out of stock there too. I don't know what's going on with this set, if it's flying under the radar even from Lego themselves, if it's some sort of limited release or something like that. Maybe it's early on, but what do we know about the shelf life typically of Star Wars polybag sets?
Less than a year.
Less than a year. In fact, 1 year is the standard. This is a very popular vehicle. We've seen past iterations of it in this exact color scheme. We have the original AAT from way back in, is it 2000 or 1999? Can't remember. Actually love that set. Have a couple of copies for personal collection. We had a 2015, I believe, AAT in this color scheme. That one has performed wonderfully. A $25 MSRP going on Amazon these days for like 75 to 100, I believe. We had the 2020 AAT, the Clone Wars AAT in a different color scheme. We're going to throw out any sort of blue and gray AATs and just look at the tan ones. All of them have performed wonderfully. This is a pretty well-built polybag. I will say it encapsulates the source material. Maybe the turret is a little chunky, being one stud high, but that dish on top looks great. The cannon looks to be a proper length, unlike the 2020 AAT. I'm liking this set. Now, if I can find it, 75 pieces for $4.99 MSRP. Looking at certain polybags, they don't typically do that well. This, I think, could be an outlier. Now, granted, it's going to take a lot of time and effort to sell a $5 set over and over and over, so this one's probably just for the Amazon sellers. But what I love about a $5 polybag is it can so easily be bundled onto a purchase to bump up that average order value. Costs almost nothing to ship. This set weighs almost nothing. For those that like to do micro scale builds, a little bit like some of the May the 4th gift with purchases we've had a couple years back, this is a great scale. You can build your trees way higher with way fewer pieces. So I've never bought a Lego Star Wars polybag for investment before, but this set has caught my eye.
Why are you wasting my time with this set, man? What is this, like 40 pieces, 3 different colors, some tan, some beige, a little bit of black? Oh, and where's the minifigure in this set? Oh, there isn't one. I'm mean, I could go to my box of loose Legos right over here and build something pretty darn similar. This is a waste.
But you know what you can't find is this set anywhere in stores. It's sold out. This set has been available, allegedly, for 2 whole months, and yet it's proven very difficult to find. I think maybe I've seen it in a Target store once. We'll see if that elusivity continues throughout the rest of this set's shelf life. This, my friends, is a certifiably great set.
DG's calling it today. This is going to be the highest return. You only might get a couple bucks per transaction, but it's going to be the highest return of 2024. You heard it here first. I know this is good set, bad set. I'm going to go NA on this.
No opinion.
Yeah, no opinion. No, this will be another one you and I will have to come back to. It'd be hilarious if this turned into like a $20 set. In terms of ROI, maybe it'll do all right, but I'm not going to waste any time on a polybag without any minifigures in it.
I think that pretty much sums it up. Let me look for one. Let me see if I can find it on Amazon, man. This is impossible to find. I literally, oh, here we go. We finally found it. So look at this on Amazon today, selling for $14. Now, of course, you have fees and everything like that. Yeah. Looks to be only 4 sellers on Amazon. That's pretty sparse.
Funny.
I can't believe I typed this set into Amazon and acted like I couldn't find it when it was literally the first result, top left. I'm very much like that. I'll open the fridge and be like, where's the butter? And it's right in the middle. But I really do have a hard time seeing things that are right in the middle.
Have you seen an eye doctor recently? Bam! Harry Potter, Brickheadz, Prisoner of Azkaban figures. Set 40677. $50, 5 minifigures. We got Sirius Black. I think that's the first time we have him in Brickheadz form. Hermione, Harry, a Patronus, and then that's a Dementor, right? Word on the streets, it's going to be retiring at the end of this year. But we've got some new characters. Again, Sirius, I think first time we've had Harry and Hermione in the past. The Patronus, new character, looks pretty cool. And the Dementor, new character in Brickheadz form, looks pretty cool. Everything sounds like it'd be a great investment, but I am going bad set on this one. I will give credit where credit's due. Sirius actually looks like Sirius right in the mouth and beard, facial hair area. It actually looks like Sirius. And then, of course, the hair over here. So well done by Lego on that one. Patronus, not my favorite.
Tell me why the Patronus looks like Sonic.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, you nailed it. Like, what the heck happened with the Dementor? So what did the Dementor do? Like run into a wall? Like, I'm unimpressed with the design of these in general. I never thought as a Lego enthusiast, Lego collector, Lego reseller that I would ever be into Brickheadz other than just reselling. And now we've got bunches of them in the house because my kids got into them. If we look at previous performers, Professors of Hogwarts, which is a great set. I'm still singing the praises. It only retired a few months ago, but it's barely moved above MSRP. Harry, Hermione, Ron, and Hagrid, not a great set in my opinion. It's been retired for the same time period, up just a little bit. But this one though, Voldemort, Nagini, and Bellatrix, super cool. You know, like really seems like this should be a huge winner. It's been retired over a year and it's only up $6.
I think I might know why.
And why is that?
40496. This 3-pack has been restricted on Amazon. So all of the big fish sellers, the Amazon sellers out there are unable to move their stock. And so those sellers are either sitting for a longer time, hoping that gets unrestricted, or they're giving up and they're just selling this set on eBay, Bricklink, or wherever they can.
Very interesting. Well, there's some bright colors in this set. Still nice that we're at the $10 per figure price point, but I'm going bad set. How about you?
Bad set. And one reason why is that there's no discount for a group pack. You're paying $10 a piece, which is standard Brickhead price for 5 Brickheads. Now, I know the Professors of Hogwarts was only 4 characters for $40. That's 10 a piece, but those look amazing. All the other Brickheads, single packs are $10. All of the Harry Potter dual packs are $20. That seems pretty reasonable, but when you get 5 characters in one, kind of like the Battle of Endor Heroes, I would expect that there would be some economy of scale there. We got to remember, $50 for a Brickhead set, that's pretty much top tier pricing. I mean, until they come out with a 6-pack or an 8-pack or a 10-pack of Brickheads, that's the top of the line set. And so I'm disappointed to see that the price is so high on this. 697 parts for that price is honestly not even a very good price per piece within the Brickheadz theme. I agree with you, Sirius looks good. Hermione is sort of whatever. Harry, we've seen him before. Harry's outfit is a little bit more unique in this set compared to some past iterations, but still not really doing it for me. Like I said, the Patronus doesn't really look right. I do like that they used a little bit more of that trans light blue than on the larger Patronus model. We can see Lego is happy happier to give us that color in small, cheap parts rather than large, expensive parts. I'm
Yep.
with you on the Dementor. I think the hood covering the eyes works decently, but looks like there's a trans blue stud inside of the mouth. It just doesn't work. And so this is absolutely a pass for me.
Look at these nice little T-Rex hands and arms. Aren't they adorable? I mean, I knew there was a chance, but I thought you might not agree with me on that one. So
one advantage that Brickheadz do have is that they are LEGO store exclusives. So the supply is going to be constrained on this set. Going to be a lot harder for people to stockpile dozens and dozens or hundreds of these. But unless the data shows me that this 5-pack Harry Potter Brickhead is really in demand, I don't think the LEGO store exclusivity is going to overpower all of the negatives we just talked about. My next set, we're going to talk about a new theme. This is set number 21057, LEGO Architecture Skylines Singapore. This is the only architecture set scheduled to retire at the end of 2024. I'm a little bit leery that it may not even retire this year because it seems that these Skyline sets get pushed back and back over and over and over in the case of London, Paris, and New York. Lots of interesting things going on with this set. Launched at the beginning of 2022. If it does retire at the end of this year, that'll be a 3-year flat shelf life, which is pretty standard for a Skyline, barring the always available Paris, London, and New York. What I do like about this set is it's colorful. You have the Bay Sands Hotel that's very famous, world-renowned. The greenery in front with those purple wheel pieces really looks amazing, lends a nice splash of color to this set. What I like about this set is you have some modern architecture in the back, and in the front, looking down here, some colonial houses, some old British architecture, charmingly represented with 3 parts per house, but that's pretty nice. However, I do think this is going to make for a bad LEGO investment. Here's why. Let's look at some sales rank here. Here we have New York, currently on sale. Hey, 22% off. That's pretty good. But this set has been out for 7 years. It is the architecture set that will not die. And looking here, despite being such an old release, the sales rank is 1600 in toys and games for the $60 price point. Looking here at London, slightly cheaper price point, $40 set, currently going for 35. If we look at that sales rank, 1600 also. These are some of the best selling sets in all of LEGO on Amazon. Looking here at Paris, this one's going for full price. Look at this, 2,000 sold in the last month. Sales rank a little bit lower, closer to 2,900. Looking here at San Francisco, this is a $50 set, currently selling for $90 because this set is 2 years retired. And look at this, even at $90, 500 plus bought in the last month. Pretty impressive. Looking at the sales rank, 12,000. The sales do slow down as the price goes up. That's pretty much what we would expect. There's a much broader market available for the lower price sets, and the selection of people that are willing to pay double the MSRP just about for a set is of course going to be a little bit lower. Now let's look at Singapore. $60 set, currently going 15% off for $51. Only 600 bought in the last month. Looking down at our sales rank, 15,473. So San Francisco at nearly double MSRP is selling a lot faster than Singapore. There's a lot of reasons why this might be. I am looking at the US site for Amazon. Maybe Singapore is going to sell better in East Asia or in certain markets that have more potential buyers with an affinity for the city or Singaporean nationals, everything like that. But if you're in the US or even Europe, as most of our viewers are, I think you might have a hard time finding potential buyers for this set, even at MSRP, never mind going over MSRP. So I do like this set a lot. The Skylines are super collectible. Obviously, they're great sellers, at least the New York, Paris, and London are. But as far as a LEGO investment, I don't think this is going to do well at all.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. I have not gotten into investing in architecture sets. I just haven't had the time to really do the research and get that knowledgeable. Number one. And number two, it just seems like the architecture Skylines seems to be getting a little bit stale at the moment. We've had some of the more recent sets have really long shelf lives. The sets aren't doing too well. San Francisco's okay, but not great. I think if you're willing to hold it a long time, I think this one could do pretty well. And I think there are some really good advantages with this one. Number one, I think it's flying under the radar a little bit, like you said. Number two, I don't know how many more architecture Skyline sets are going to be produced by LEGO. It really seems like that's slowing down. So we could be coming to an end or close to an end. And then, as we've already addressed earlier, the plants and the foliage, that adds a little something. And the other thing I really like is that there's a little bit of water. Look, we've got the foliage, the green roof. So even though Singapore may not have the biggest name recognition for the Skyline line, I think that the set is one of the best looking in the series. And in the long run, people are going to want to have this one because it really is a standout.
We know that late on in collectible series, like with the helmets, for example, a lack of new releases can potentially decrease the interest in the whole sub-theme, and the late arrivals to that sub-theme can tend to suffer. With the new releases slowing down and with the overall architecture theme shrinking so much in the last couple years, do you think that this set might be hurt by that factor?
I think as you get towards the end of the theme and things start to slow down, I think as the buzz slows down, there might be some sets in the middle that people will skip. If it's a large series. Now take like the helmets, there's only what, 11 or 13 of them, something like that, right? So people are going to want them all. But for the shorter turnaround time, it's much better to be earlier in a theme when the buzz is high. Yep.
And for my own collection, I do, like I said, I do like the colors on this set. I'll definitely get one for my own collection. But as an investment, not loving it. Singapore is a pretty small but wealthy island nation in Asia. About 5 million people in a very small area. That's a pretty small nation. And so is there going to be a market for this set? Are there foreign nationals, maybe in the US or in Europe or in other markets, that have a strong connection to their home country? Possibly. I don't think there are enough to really drive demand to push the price of this set up higher to where it needs to be if it's going to be a good Lego investment. This is one of the best looking skyline sets, but it's one of the more niche cities. And so I worry that people are looking at the success of iconic cities, San Francisco, Las Vegas, cities that are world renowned and known around the world. And then they're translating, oh, these have been good investments on these cities that are known around the world. Therefore, this niche and relatively unknown city is also going to be a great investment. I'm just worried about the confluence of supply and demand here. And so I think it's going to be a terrible Lego investment.
But I do want to give a disclaimer for all of our Singapore viewers out there. DG does not mean to be so harsh on your city. It's a wonderful place. We hope to visit there someday, or at least I do. Yeah, you know, guys, I know DG well. He's a good guy, and he really doesn't mean to be so negative on your city. So
I apologize profusely to all 3 of our Singaporean viewers.
Man, you're just digging that hole deeper and deeper. All right, on to my third good set, bad set. Dorado Fortress 10320 from the Icons theme. It's amazing. $215. That's a weird price point. Kind of cool for over 2,500 pieces. A remake of this 1989 Dorado Fortress 6276. Oh, they're both so good. This one is so nostalgic. But if we go put in Pirates in a brick set and do a little scrolling down, we've got some recent sets like this Ideas Pirates of Barracuda Bay, $200 MSRP and $306 new. That's pretty good. That's a 50% return on investment. If you bought it at full price, you could definitely get it lower. We've got a nice Creator 3-in-1 pirate ship that's getting some decent buzz. I think that's expected to retire at the end of this year. A pirate roller coaster up to $125. You could have got this one for about $65. Pirate themed sets that Lego is releasing these days do really well. And this one, ooh, kills it, blows it out of the park. I love it. And it's actually scheduled as of now to be retiring at the end of 2024. DG, am I correct on that?
I believe so, as of now.
Verified by DG. Thank you very much. That puts it at a 1.5-year shelf life. I'll believe it when I see it, but if this thing goes for just a 1.5 years, oh man, look out, look out.
So it's a good set then?
It's a good set, but I recommend nobody else invest in it but me. Just leave this one to me. It'll be fine.
For a set this large, this detailed, and for a set that's such a piece of Lego history, a 1.5 years does seem awfully short for the shelf life. I believe this is a Target exclusive in the United States, other than through Lego Shop at Home. So yet again, there's going to be constrained supply. There's going to be fewer units that were ever even manufactured. The piece count has tripled since modern techniques use a lot more quantity of smaller pieces. Of course, we don't have the raised base plate that we did 30 years ago. I love this set. It's colorful. The minifigures, pirate minifigures actually are valuable. A lot of those vintage pirate minifigures are really desirable by collectors. My one worry with this set is I believe the pirate fandom is a little bit niche within Lego. I think most of the fans of these vintage pirate sets, if they've gotten back into the Lego hobby today, they're going to go out and get this set themselves at retail price or maybe on a sale from Target or from Lego themselves. What's the actual population of future buyers in 2025 or 2026 after this set retires, if it retires at the end of this year, that are going to be interested in paying $300 for this set? I'm not sure it's going to be enough of a population compared to, with the proliferation of Lego investing, the supply that's going to be available.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You mentioned the minifigures. These 3 that I zoomed in on look fantastic. You mentioned the base plate. I love how Lego recreated the base plate.
I love that now they've added studs to that slope so you can have the soldiers marching down or the pirates marching up. That was something we couldn't do before. And
we can do that now because they recreated the base plate by making a brick-built 3-dimensional, base plate like we looked at in this one. This is all one piece, injection molded, single piece plastic. And now you got this one and it's very similar, but brick built, super cool. But you ask the audience for pirates. Yeah, it's a little more narrow, but kids always love pirates. It just hasn't gone away. A lot of kids dress up as a pirate for Halloween. There's Disney movies with pirate characters, the little cartoons, and so whether it's adult collectors or the next generation of young kids, young adults that's coming coming up or young parents that want to get a pirate set for their kids, I think there will still be enough of a market.
This is a remake of a classic set, a little bit like the Galaxy Explorer. Now, space is a different theme than pirates, of course, but maybe that Galaxy Explorer, just retired at the end of 2023, could give us a roadmap for how the pirates may do. I think this has a lot of good ingredients, target exclusivity, really good value. The construction itself looks great. In addition to pirates, this could also integrate with castle people. Build a white sort of castle. I mean, it's a fortress. It's a sea, it's an ocean fortress. That's pretty sweet. So I'm going to proceed with caution. I'm going to wait until a little bit further on in the year when it becomes a little bit more likely that the set is going to retire after all at the end of this year. And if I catch wind that it is going to, I'm going to see what sort of price I can get it at. I could get this at 160. I'll absolutely pull the trigger. I teased it before. We're talking about it now. Set number 21327, the LEGO Ideas Typewriter. Such a unique set. Originally launched in the middle of 2021. It is scheduled to retire at the end of 2024. So that would be a 3.5-year shelf life, quite long for the Ideas theme. This set is selling pretty well for a $250 MSRP. I was talking earlier about the sand green color that I think looks oh so much better than the baby barf olive green on the Modular Museum.
Just can't let it go, can you? Yeah.
This is an adult set. It largely appeals to adults. This is so good looking. I could see it resting in any adult's living room. Look at this here. You don't even need to be a writer or an appreciator of vintage things. We've seen vinyl records make a bit of a comeback. Could we see antique typewriters do the same sort of thing? I don't know. Now, granted, it doesn't actually write. That would be quite messy for a Lego set. The action on this set, when you press each of the keys, an individual little lever comes up and strikes the paper. Just look at this Technic mechanism. This is amazing. And I've read, again, the sentiment online from comments and things is just off the charts for this set. People are saying it has to be built to be fully appreciated. I have not yet built this set, but man, this strikes me as what could be in the future a classic. Hey, remember that typewriter set from 10 years ago with the engineering that has yet to be matched? This set is just so cool. Looking here at some more sales-oriented data, we can see that when it goes out of stock at Amazon, 250 retail price, looks like it has sold as high as 360. So that's of course a good sign. Overall trend is generally downward, but that's usually what we see in sets with long shelf lives as they become more available and more stocked by third-party resellers. You see that race to the bottom. But as soon as this set retires, man, easily a $300 set, easily a $400 set. And I think if you are willing to do a long hold, I just have a feeling this is an all-time classic Lego set with engineering that will never be matched.
And I hate to say this, all you viewers know I hate to say this, but DG, I agree with you. This is really, really cool. I am not as excited about it as you are, but one thing that really helps me is the color, right? So those sand green pieces, very popular. People like to do mocks with them. And so, you know, just the pieces have more intrinsic value because of the sand green color than other sets. But my only hesitancy is, number one, it's $250 for under 2,100 pieces. Maybe that's where it's going to be, or maybe that's a sign that we will get a shot at a really good discount sometime before it retires. But my hesitancy is, what's the thought process that somebody has to pay $350 for this, say 2 years from now, right? Like, who is that person? You know, what are they thinking? Like, hey, that looks amazing and I want to build it because it's so intricate and it's some of the best Lego engineering ever. And then I think to myself, how repeatable is that? Like, what percent of the population? So that's my only hesitancy, is the audience could be narrow. But at the same time, it is flying under the radar as an investment piece.
We shouldn't discount the herd mentality. Once it gains the notoriety of, say, the original Eiffel Tower or some of the original modulars, where there's no real reason that the cafe corner should cost $2,000. I know it has some unique parts, some doors that are 5 bricks high instead of 6. So okay, some rare parts. There's no real reason that that is worth $2,000 except for the collectability. This set doesn't benefit from the collectability as much. It's more of a standalone thing. And I could be wrong. I just think this set has that X factor that as soon as it ceases to be available, I think a little bit like the world map art piece, people that missed out on this, as soon as it retires, they're going to realize the mistake they've made. They're going to scramble out to buy it. They're going to go with the herd mentality and drive up the price. And so it would not shock me if 5 to 7 years from now, this set is a $1,000 set.
Wow, that's fascinating. The old X factor, you know what the X factor is? It's that something starts to show as being valuable, and therefore people want it because it's valuable.
Exactly.
And then when more people want it because it's valuable, because it becomes more valuable. That's a real thing, and it really could happen with this set.
And those of us who are really hardcore fans of Lego can instantly think of these sets that say are worth over $1,000. The Death Star R2 UCS set from 2005. Cafe Corner, the original modular. 10123 Cloud City from 2005. Not a very great set. Yes, it has some unique minifigures, but it's more of the fact that it's the first ever ARM printed boba. It becomes its own legend. And so I think the typewriter might have what it takes.
That's interesting. So I feel a little bit like that about the Fender Stratocaster, but it doesn't have the mechanisms, doesn't have the engineering behind it. So I think both of them are ones to watch.
Hadn't thought too seriously about the Fender, but you could be right.
And it's not a big price point, which is kind of cool on that one. So, but we'll talk about that one at length in a future video, I'm sure. So time for my last one.
Oh, yeah, baby.
All right. Hogwarts Castle and Grounds, $170, 2,660 pieces. A lot of small pieces, but a great price to part ratio if you like to look at that. It's set 76419. It really is the island, right? Like you've got the water all the way around. It transitions up to the rock. You got the nice stairs and walkways on the left there up to the main hall area. You've got the boat. You got the one golden minifigure and just great detail. The bridge area in the middle. Wonderful set. Terrible investment. I am absolutely going bad set on this, which is unexpected, right? Because this is like the only set right now that's getting buzz in the Harry Potter universe. It seems like the Harry Potter theme is dying out as an investment. There have been some, not rumors, but questions over the last year or two from the other videos that I've watched of how much longer is Lego going to continue with the Harry Potter theme before they give it a break. I don't think they'll ever completely go away from it, but I could see a 5-year break. Well, I just read a couple of days ago that those questions are turning into legitimate rumors that Lego is considering cooling off on producing any or taking a break on producing any Harry Potter sets. I think that day is coming. And then, of course, the second step of that rumor is, ooh, will that make space for more Lord of the Rings sets? Can we have a few years of Lord of the Rings again? So Harry Potter is clearly cooling off. This is a beautiful set. One is sitting on my kitchen table and it's on step 8 right now because my son's birthday was yesterday and he wanted this one. I got it for him and he made it to step 8 and then he started playing with something else, but he will definitely build it. Again, it's a great set, but my issues with it are the Harry Potter theme is cooling off. Number 2, there are no minifigures other than the architect of Hogwarts and the golden minifigure. That will absolutely be collectible.
What's the value on that minifigure? I'm curious.
And the value is $25 according to Brick Economy. So not bad, other than it being so well designed and just amazing to look at. And then we come over here to this very large micro scale castle. It's $470 for over 6,000 pieces. Another beautiful set, but it's not like this is flying off the shelves. Nobody's talking about this one as a great investment, primarily because of the huge buy-in point, but it has at least 4 minifigures. And then if we put in Harry Potter Castle in a brick set, yeah, we had all these sets that had the same tan with the sand green spires and roofs that all combined together into the big castle, but there's just no buzz around Harry Potter Castle related sets right now, except the one that we're looking at here. Maybe this one will end up being a good investment, but it feels too much like a gamble for me. And so that's the other reason I'm going bad set.
This set has immaculate presentation. It's gorgeous. So it sounds to me like a lot of your worry about this set for an investment is that investors are fleeing the play sets and everyone might be piling into this particular set. Without knowing the supply and demand data, just going on aesthetics and everything else we usually talk about, I'm trying to cast aside my personal bias of that I think this set looks amazing, and incorporating the little carriage floating in the sky there, the Durmstrang ship, so I guess this must be based on Goblet of Fire, boat dock there, like you said, with the path leading up. It looks so good. I like the black border. That really sells it as an adults-oriented set, and you could really see this being displayed in a Harry Potter superfan's living room or something like that. Oh, so there on the back, you have the Whomping Willow with the car stuck in it. That's a nice touch. Underneath, you have Wizard's Chess and the Chamber of Secrets with the serpent there on the left. So all these wonderful Easter eggs. Not sure if that's the Philosopher's Stone in there next to the chess set and the library or something like that. But all sorts of Easter eggs. Man, it just looks so good. But let's see the overhead. Man, it looks so good. Look at those angles. It's so difficult to build away from the 90-degree.
Like that one right there with the bridge.
That one and the Great Hall there on the left. That's not a 45-degree angle. That's like a 30-degree angle. This diagonal building is so difficult. Just really impressive. I love this set. I see what you're saying. The abundance of investors that may be eyeing this set. I think the $170 price point is going to protect it somewhat from that.
Like I told you, we got one for my son for his birthday yesterday. I guarantee you I will be getting another so that I can build it fresh, because I absolutely want to build this one too. I just don't think there are enough people out there like you and me. And I think there are too many people people out there like you and me that really want to invest in this one. So supply and demand is going to be off.
That's funny. You say there aren't enough people like you and me, and then there's too many people like you and me for
Yep.
this set to do well. Is this scheduled to retire this year? 2025. Without seeing the supply and demand data, I got to finish with an I don't know. So a big change going on with me is that I am in the process of setting up my Amazon seller account. And you may have noticed during the good set, bad set breakdowns and everything, I'm a lot more concerned now with sales rank, supply and demand, all that unglamorous, not very fun Amazon stuff that's really, really important for a profitable Amazon business, whether you're selling Legos or anything else. And oh my goodness, I put an S on the end of the word. I'm going to
I was just about to call you out on that. DG, if you're going to be a Lego reseller on Amazon, you better know that it's Lego, not Legos.
Actually, so taking this next step in my reselling journey of finding mentors, learning so much about this new platform, I thought I knew a lot. Now I'm realizing I don't know very much at all. So looking forward and thinking about my move to Amazon, what that looks like for my business, that has sort of prompted me to reconsider what are my goals of this whole thing. Am I trying to do $10,000 a year in sales? Am I trying to do 100,000? Am I trying to do millions in sales? Because that's absolutely possible on Amazon. It's so scalable, but it's prompted me to reconsider emotionally why I'm doing this. One of the great things about Lego investing is that it can work at a very small scale if you have a spare shelf in your closet. It can also work at an enormous scale. For me, I don't want to go quite that big. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. So everyone makes their own decision with what they want Lego reselling to be for them. I've decided to move to Amazon. What are you thinking the future looks like for your reselling?
DG, and I'm doing this for you, man. I am your biggest cheerleader to go figure out all of the getting onto Amazon. Because once you go figure it out, then it'll make it much quicker and easier for me to do it in a year or two. After you figure out all of the lessons learned, I'm just gonna be like, hey, DG, what do I do here? How do I do this? Like, you'll become my Amazon consultant. And I know you'll do that for free for me, of course. So, so either way, I am a huge cheerleader. Go get that figured out. That sounds fantastic. And no, it's something I've thought about too, but it's always stages of life, right? My kids, they just had their birthdays. So my kids just turned 12 and 10. So my big focus is just trying to find any time that I can to either make a video, record for a podcast, go do some research for investing, think about Amazon, post things on eBay. And so I'm keeping it a little bit more disorganized or unplanned on purpose right now because I don't want to miss my kids at ages 12 and 10. And I know that time flies way too fast and it won't be long before they're, later in high school and super busy or off to college and that kind of thing. So, one little nudge at a time, just getting more and more deeper into my Lego investing hobby. It's still a hobby for me, not a business yet. Someday I hope it is a business, but, just get better and better and gradually increment up the scalability piece of it.
That's totally valid. We can have different scales or even different reasons for doing what we do. I think everyone has their own unique, special mix of their circumstances, where they come from, their Lego fandom, and their own particular twist on Lego reselling. So some people are really worried about driving operational efficiency and really treating it like a business. I think it's just important to consciously think about what you're trying to do so that you don't get caught up in the FOMO of, oh, well, somebody else is making more money than me. And that's such a problem. And this threatens what I'm trying to do here.
Sometime in the future, I might change that perspective, when my wife and I are empty nesters, and I'm not wishing for that time to come anytime soon, but time, it inevitably moves forward. And so there will be a day, and then I will pivot on what time and energy I'm willing to put into it. But right now, I keep it fun. I keep it chill. And when I get to things, I get to them. And if I don't, I don't. And I do know that if I really poured more into this to where look, I think I could do a lot higher volume and a lot more revenue and make more money and all that. But it does come at a cost. And that cost would be doing all the family stuff. And, like the other night, my son had his first sand volleyball. I think they call it a duel, by the way. It's not a match. So I was there for a couple hours. And I did spend part of the time listening to some videos about Lego investing, collecting a little data. So, I'll multitask, but I don't want to miss out on that kind of stuff. Here's another example. So this is the other GWP, and I picked up 3 of these recently. And this throwback GWP is awesome.
It's awesome. I agree. And also the market thinks it's awesome.
I spent $200. I would want $40 back after shipping and fees. Well, this is $68.33 with shipping and fees. I'm hitting $40. Here's 71 shipped, with free shipping, right? There's a chance that this set will come back, be re-released in the future as a GWP, kind of like the Disney 100 we talked about earlier. If that happens, then I just lost out on probably 20 bucks on this GWP. I've had these sitting over here for a week and a half now, and I haven't touched them. And I really should be getting them on eBay, ASAP, and on Marketplace. And I just haven't had the bandwidth to do it. And if I'm able to do it, I do it. If I missed out, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to substitute all of my other priorities in life that have to come before what I do with Lego videos and Lego reselling and make that sacrifice. So, that's kind of where I am. Now, a couple other things I'm thinking about for 2024 is I'm absolutely waiting until, May the 4th might be the first real weekend that I buy some stuff other than, again, this microspace GWP. That was a special case because I love that one so much. But otherwise, I'm really waiting until October, November, December. Last year, I bought a little bit more throughout the year, but this year I'm just waiting because there were so many good sales last year. I'm expecting great sales again at the end of this year. Now, of course, there is one exception to everything I'm saying. I did buy this fantastic set early. This is EG. Why are you laughing?
Because I had individuals specifically text me to say, hey, you better tell Kevin to return those.
Okay, so this is from Wish. Never heard of it, never seen it. And I don't even know, this set's so good, I don't even know the name of it. It's Asha's Cottage. I don't even know who Asha is, but I got it for 50% off. It's $50 set. I got it for 25 and I got 3 of them. And so, when a deal like that just falls in your lap, then of course, you don't wait until the end of the year to pick that up. So what a great set. What a great set. Want me to show you again? I mean, look how colorful it is. You got mini dolls in there. Those are always very popular.
We've looked at this set far too much. I never want to see that set again, Kevin.
Oh, it's coming back.
It's going to come back every episode?
It's coming back. Yep, I'm going to keep gloating about my purchase of that set.
Everything you said about keeping the priorities in line, absolutely true. Your family comes first, of course. Everybody's different. That's what life is made out of, is memories with family. That's what this is all for. Why am I trying to do $1 million a year on Amazon? So I can go on vacation with my family. That's what it all comes back to. That's the purpose of all of this. There's no point to endlessly scale up and make more money and more money and more money and spend your life in pursuit of more money and more money and more money if that is the only end. The end should be, what do you want to use your money for? Big picture questions, and not everyone needs to think about this as deeply, but I think for those of us in our 30s or 40s or later on in life, I think you get a little bit of a clearer picture of why you're making the decisions that you're making. I commend you for keeping the priorities straight, keeping the family happy, the kids, if you have them, absolutely. That should be your number one priority. Career, hobbies, personal interests, everything like that. If it's not fun, what's the point? And so everything in due measure. Don't let the Lego reselling hobby or business, whatever it is for you in particular, take over your entire life. There are other things that are important. It's good to go outside. It's good to touch some grass. Go to a volleyball duel once in a while. Put your feet in the sand. Kick back, drink a beverage of your choice with those close to you. That's what life is about.
So DG and I talked and said, all right, let's kind of split the difference, right, between the KDX method and the DGX method. The DGX, there you go, man. The KDX and the DGX method.
Merger coming soon? No, just kidding.
That's right. That's right. For our podcast. So I like that. But, the other reason I got drawn back into Lego, other than I loved them as a kid, is because it's great to do with my kids. Like, I'm not just an investor and reseller. I build a ton of sets. And we build some mocks and we pour Legos out and sort them. And so just the whole hobby, parts of my hobby don't involve the kids, but parts of them do involve my kids and wife.
Totally. The math is crucial to the whole thing working. Because if we're not making a profit, then it's not possible to do this. But we know from all this sales data, this robust history of Lego values and Lego investing, that this concept does work. The powerful concept. It's an empowering concept. It is empowering. You can do it as a solo entrepreneur. You can do it with a team. You can do it with any number of different ways to do this.
You can get your kids to box up things for shipping. Good to get a little kid labor in there,
No, you can. Absolutely. You can pay your kids a salary and you can start setting them up for life with a 401k.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So there's so many ways to do it. And I think we should embrace that as part of the beauty. I don't think we should all want to do things the same way. And if Amazon sellers out there want to make their operation as efficient as possible and they get a kick out of doing that, more power to them. I'm kind of moving in that direction. But I want to keep the love of the game and not lose sight of why I got into this, which is because I love Lego. Oh, excuse me. I love Legos.
Oh, gosh, this guy again. Jeez.
Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Buy very carefully and have a great day.
See you guys in the next one.